Alrighty, and we are back for Thumbpad.com.au. This is The Brutal Gamer, and this is me recording, or trying to record, my first video for you guys. I'm going to try and upload this to YouTube, and we'll see how it goes. Now, I got an email here, and it says, "Dear Brutal Gamer, for your next published article, could you do a little thing, something that you really like? A few articles like that will help people understand the style of gaming that you like, rather than just negative comments, I assume." It would be good to see, I think, what games you like and what you enjoy. That's fair enough. This is me responding to my audience. What can I say? I'm the Brutal Gamer. I didn't pick the name picked me. I've grown into the name has grown into me. I'm not particularly brutal. I come across brutal, I think, after 26 years. 20 of those playing games, I have a lot to say. But to answer the question, as far as games that I have enjoyed, many games. I know the last couple of articles I wrote were quite harsh. Stacking. Possibly racist. Politically incorrect, is that right? Yes, oh, you're a good boy. And then I kind of roasted Bulletstorm and Cliffy B a little bit. I don't apologise for that at all. I've had some comments from different parties that I'm conservative, politically incorrect, a little bit liberal. Yeah, I'd pay that. It's fair enough. I'm not particularly liberal. I don't like the Liberal Party. We've got the upcoming state elections in New South Wales, Australia here, and I'm not voting for the Liberal Party or the Labor Party. I'll probably vote for some independent local member at least. The coalition's probably going to win it, but I'm definitely probably conservative. Never really thought about it, but I think it does come out in my articles sometimes. And you know what, Kitty? Yeah, well, there's a pretty straightforward answer for that. As a gamer, first and foremost, I'm a Christian. I believe in God, and He is above all in everything that I do and say, and everything that I write. And the main reason I do this, and I have continued to game for so long, is actually my faith, and my lifestyle and participation in church, which probably has at times led to some conservative opinions. That said, I really don't draw too many lines in the sand when it comes to gaming. I'll look at things, I'll watch things, I'll interact with things. But there has to be a point where you sort of go, this game perhaps really isn't good, or it's cracked up to be. The first article I ever published here on Thumbpad anyway, I've worked for a few different websites, but the first one was on The Force Unleashed. That was a pretty average game. It was short, and it just was not made very well. I don't really like Star Wars. Out of all the science fiction shows, I rate it the lowest. It's fun, but it's just been commercialized and sort of dummied up for the lowest common denominator, and I really, that game just disappointed me. And the same with Bulletstorm. Bulletstorm's fun, but I finished it and I haven't picked it up since. There's many small things like the lack of co-op online co-op, campaign co-op is just almost unforgivable. Really, there's just not enough content in the game. It looks nice, about half of it, and then the other half is just sort of underground. And there's some really odd choices, like the electrical level. If you've seen that, the electricity level, it just doesn't make any sense where that came from, and the last bit just looks like Gears of War ripped off, you know. And you know, I've sort of taken up this idea of the brutal gamer and becoming a bit more opinionated, you know, and that's just me and where I'm heading with the gaming media. And I mean, 100%. If you look at the beginning of this year, anyway, it's all been blah blah blah. You know, games are politically incorrect. Games have too much swearing. Games will make you rapists. Your mum hates this game. You know, in Bulletstorm, I was listening to a podcast the other day, and you know, they made the comment that all the B grade games come out in February. No, it's 100% true, really. It is. Bulletstorm won't win any awards at the end of the year. You know, if anyone remembers it, they'll remember it for the same reason they remembered Bayonetta at the beginning of last year, you know. It was a fun enough game, it looked nice, but like, it was technically inferior, it was lacking a lot of content, you know, and it's largely remembered for the fact that Epic's name was attached to it, and the Gears of War 3 beta. Yeah, I wasn't impressed, and it kind of shits me a little bit to see Cliffy B's face on this game. Everywhere I look is just Cliffy B pimping this game when it wasn't even his idea to start with. You know, Epic's just kind of come along and almost bought the rights to this game, and bought the rights to stick Gears of War onto it, and you know, bought the rights to I guess call the Epic Edition Epic. You know, and yeah, it just makes me sad, because people may fly have potential to make a good game on their own. They made Painkiller, I think it was, you know, about 7 or 8 years ago ish, and Bulletstorm isn't much different to that. It's slightly jazzed up, but you know, it's the same game we played almost 10 years ago, and that in and of itself just isn't enough to sort of warrant, I guess, you know, $110 in Australia today. You know, it's fun, but I think my writing style, part of my brutal gaming style review is simply take a couple of different ideas, and try to string them together and create some sort of coherent train of thought, and then link it all together at the end, you know. And in this case, we kind of went from Bulletstorm to Serious Sam 3 to Jack Black and Cliffy B, and I mean, you know, the bottom line is that Bulletstorm is an adult game in rating, but it's clearly not aimed at adults in terms of gameplay. You know, and I've heard a lot of other people justifying, it's fun, and you know, enjoyed it, but you know, you give them another game without Epic's name on it that's exactly the same, and they go, this is, you know, inferior, and it's for 15-year-olds and don't enjoy it, you know. And I mean, yeah, I thought it was relevant. Jack Black's just a neat coincidence, but I mean, the whole fact that you have to drink alcohol in it and get drunk and then pull off mad skills while you're drinking, I guess it's a bit unnecessary, and it's kind of just cheap. And I mean, the main character, he doesn't have much of an opinion either way, you know. It's like, he's trying to be badass like Duke Nukem and sort of rip on the women and swear and stuff, but he doesn't follow that through, and there's actually no women in the game, you know. And then he's drinking, but you know, he doesn't take that to the full extent. It's just soft, the whole thing, you know. And I didn't really buy the main character or the fact that he was hardcore or whatever, you know. And maybe Duke Nukem will come out and will be exactly the same as Bulletstorm, but it's going to be more enjoyable because it's Duke Nukem. You know, because it's got that fan base, because it's got that history, because it's actually taken it, you know, over the line rather than just kind of sitting in that muddled middle ground where it's like too afraid to tread over the line. And you know, it's like softcore. You know, it's weak.